Bright Tuty. Every student matters.
Once again, I'm here with chapter number 2, Nation and State. And all about this chapter is like we are going to do what is nation, nation and nationalism, meaning and elements of state, and self-determination. Now, what is nation? You all know we all live in a country, and the country gives us a belongingness. That belongingness comes with our birth, or we do have a connectivity with our fundamental rights and duties. And the nation is the place where the people, they create by a shared belief that the people inside a country are connected to each other. Now, what is nation? We come to know a social cultural concept more so tied to ethnicity. Ethnicity means the population, the type of population we do have in our country. Then historical community that shares common ancestry, a people with a sense of union with one another. History community means the historical data of quality of people living over there. That means those who are living in the previous time, in the ancient time. We compare it with the present one. Common ancestry, that means the forefathers. And then what is the sense of union? Like, how do we come to know that we belong to one nation? Belongingness. How a nation is defined depends on the people who see themselves as part of the nation. People are part of a nation because they claim the nation as an identity. Not every nation has a state. Kurds and Palestinians. Some states contain more than one nation. Belgium, UK, Canada. Some nations are larger than one state. About 4 million Jews live in Israel. Many members of the Jewish nation living elsewhere in the world, that is US and Eastern Europe. The nation is cultural identity. It is, we could say, a social identity, where we do have a common governing body. And a nation state must have a shared national identity, one common geographical boundary. Like if I say that this part, like we live in this area, so this is the geographical boundary. The people who are living here, it is the diverse ethnicity. And the culture followed by these people is cultural identity. And the communities they are coming from are social backgrounds, and the government which is governing is common governing body. So this area, the geographical area, is the physical border and a single government which the people of the particular area are living with. A nation is a soul, a spiritual principle. Only two things constitute this soul. The spiritual principle, one is the past and one is the possession in common of a rich legacy of remembrances. The other is the consent, the desire to live together, the will continue to value the heritage which all hold in common. Ethnic unity, religion and language are not the basic elements which constitute the nation. Common race, common religion, common language are apparently important factors in the building of a nation. But the country like India doesn't require this common thing, because we are unity in diversity. And above all, India is a secular state. And in building a nation, the presence or absence of any of these does not necessarily imply the presence or importance of the national spirit. Now, what is ethnic unit? Like here in India, we do have many languages, religions, cultures, social backgrounds, Today, hundreds of races are found merged in the United States and the inhabitants of Switzerland, and do not think of themselves as French, Germans or Italians but as Swiss. In other words, the Swiss people constitute a nation, and although they are not of the same race, nor do they possess a common language. Same way, we don't have a common language, we don't have a common religion, we don't have common festivals, right? We don't have food habits. But even then, we people are Indians first, rather than we are any other community, we are any other religious person. We are Indians first. Language. And language is also like a way through you communicate, through you converse with others, through you talk with others, you express your views. But some writers believe that language counted far more than race in the molding of a nation. But the English-speaking people consider not one but several nations. The Swiss speak at least 3 distinct languages like French, German and Italian, and so as in India also. Like we have large number of languages here, and in the 8th schedule of our constitution included many Indian languages such as Assamese, Bengali, Bodo, Dogri, Gujarati, Hindi, Kannada, Manipuri, Nepali, Tamil, Telugu, Urdu, etc. But even then, we people don't mind if somebody talks in his or her own native language, because it has never been an obstacle in Indian country, and as an Indian you can't even force anyone to speak out a particular language. So whatsoever language the people want to talk in, they could. There is no burden on them. Even if we talk about the religion, common religion was also regarded as a basic element of nationalism, but in India it is proven wrong, because if we talk about the country like Pakistan, they only divided from India just because on the basis of their religion only. Otherwise, India gives all equal treatment and all equal status to all the religions equally, and there is no special status given to any of the religions. There is no official religion declared here, there is no official language declared here. So here people can follow any of the religion, they can practice any of the religions of their choice, and if they want to follow any religion apart from their own religion, they could do it very easily. And the diverse religious faiths do not interfere with the spirit of nationalism. Now, the meaning and features of a nation. Nationality is essentially 11 subjective, that is a condition of mind and a way feeling a living. The concept of nation is based upon 2 assumptions. First is your mankind is divided into different nations, and second, patriotism. That means love for that nation. And so that this love is often associated with the belief that their nation is the best they hope for, and the nationalism expressed is the love for your own country. If we go back at the time of independence, people did not realize that what exactly the nationalism meant, and that time the role of freedom fighters came into existence, and they just made the people realize how the nationalism works. What is your nation? How do you love it? And the ideas fought for political independence of the country. And nation and nationalism are always associated, the beliefs and the features. The common beliefs or sense of oneness, common history, the territory, shared ideals and values, and common identity. Common beliefs or sense of oneness, that means one flag, one nation, or we could say national anthem, common historical background, so all these things gives us a sense of belongingness. and each nation is like a living organism with its own will, beliefs and purposes. It has to speak a mystical existence which can be felt and may also be seen at times. At the time of international sports competitions, the Indians, the British and the sports competitions, and the Indians, the British and the Chinese would cheer their respective teams. So individuals may come and individuals may go, but the nation goes on forever. Because you must have seen, when we go to Olympics, when we go to international games or sports or any other thing, even the summits, conferences, meetings, at that time, what is the thing which identifies us? The national flag. We people are Indian, our geographical boundary, the status which we have in the world map. So with all these common things, the sense of oneness comes to us and it gives a sense of nationalism as well. Common history, like Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru also said this thing, like it is fascinating to find how the Bengalis, the Marathas, the Gujaratis, Tamils, the Andhras, the Uriyas, the Assamese have retained their peculiar characteristics for hundreds of years and yet to have been throughout these ages distinctively Indian with the same national heritage. Everyone knows who is Rani Lakshmi Bai, everyone knows who is Maharana Pratap, everyone knows who was Tipu Sultan. Why so? Because the sacrifice of these great personalities were in the favor of the country. They fought against British rule, they wanted independence, they wanted like every person should have loved the country at that time. They were the sparks of Indian independence. From them only we came to learn that how the country was under the rule of British people and how the importance was supposed to be taken away from them, and we literally snatched them, because these were the people, those who made us realize the sense of nationalism. So we share a common history because these personalities, they just fought for us and we have to make it continued as an independent country, because it is legacy which they gave us and we have to preserve our heritage. The territory. And a territory, whatever the scale, place, people and institution are its components. Now institutional approach is like leadership of elected representatives, clear delimitation, powers and resources. This is democracy exactly, because we all share this form of government, because this form of government has our representatives, we have chosen them and they make all the policies for us, they are using the powers for us only, they are maintaining the administration for the welfare of the country. And implemented by authorities cooperating within a multi-level governance system, it respects subsidiary and division of competence and among different levels, and functional approach is like discretionary between administrative decisions, and functional relation is a barrier to TC. Now the shared ideals and values. If I say, we shall refer to the ideals or values that national leaders thought were important in the life of the nation. For example, the leaders of democratic nations firmly adhered to these values: democracy, freedom, secularism and liberalism. The core values of liberalism are rationalism, toleration and self-regulating market economy. If I say these values were introduced to us by the revolutionaries and we could say the people, those who fought for us for the freedom struggle, and our leaders at that time before independence, they made us aware of all these things. They gave us these values, what exactly the liberalism is, what exactly the democracy is, why freedom is important, why we need to respect all the religions present in the country, what is the value of ethnicity, why tolerance is actually required. But unfortunately, because of these values also, we people were not able to understand what British people were doing with us, and that is what I said, unfortunately we departed into two countries. Otherwise it was not required, it was never ever required, but yes, they had this policy divide and rule, and somehow we forgot these moral values for some time, and when it was separated, at that time we realized that something was wrong. But anyhow, both the countries have even then good connection, but sometimes we also get some problems, but these shared ideals and values are for both. And the common identity, the culture of a country is made up of several different trends, religions, traditions and influences. Despite differences of race, religion and languages, there is a basic unity in the thinking of people with the nationalist ideals. Now if we say the common identity, apart from India is living, again I would say, unity in diversity. We are from different communities, religions, we speak different languages, we have different festivals, we have different living styles. That is what we call culture. There are so many other things also which are different, but even then we people are one. Why? Apart from religion or language or culture or social background or community background, we all have to think about one thing, that is the common one, that we all are Indians. We are all are citizens of one country.